San Diego Police Department Homicide Unit.
Thank you, ma'am. Can you talk about this morning's incident?
Yes, just about 3:30 this morning, San Diego police officers were summoned to the 4100 block of Wallace here in the Old Town area regarding a vehicle collision. When officers got here, they saw that a white van had been involved with a collision with a pedestrian, a male pedestrian. Unfortunately, the male did not survive the collision and he was pronounced deceased here at the scene. When investigators got on scene, there was some evidence and some statements that were inconsistent with a traffic accident, and it began to look more like an intentional act that killed this gentleman. That's why the police department's homicide unit was called out to investigate. We do have a 48-year-old male who was injured and succumbed to his injuries here at the scene. We have a 47-year-old female that is being detained. At this point, we don't know exactly if it's a homicide as an intentional act, but we are definitely looking at that possibility.
Do they know each other, or did they know each other?
There was a relationship between the two of them, yes.
And so did they meet here? Because we saw another car in the parking lot.
How am I going to put this? They met up here. This is an area that they frequent together. They were separated earlier in the evening, and they did meet up here. This is a place where they frequently stay.
A young man says he opened fire to defend his parents. I'm Sherman Chow. Welcome back to the 411. Michelle Choi explains why the family says that young man reacted so quickly and decisively.
At a loss for words and holding back tears.
Sorry.
I see you're getting emotional. Is it because you would have never wanted your son in this situation, right?
I can say, take me in.
Dad Alfredo Rodriguez told us this morning he would do anything to switch places with his son after investigators say he shot and killed a man attacking his parents.
From what I'm seeing on video and from what everybody's telling me, yes. I mean, he's clearly, taking an action to protect his dad and his mom.
The shooting took place in the back parking lot of Mexican seafood restaurant Michoacan in Southeast Houston just before 2 this morning. The family was inside the restaurant when Alfredo says a man in his 30s began harassing his wife, grabbed her inappropriately. She slapped him. The couple then left and waited outside by their car for their son. That's when police say the man followed them, got in his car, parked in front of them, jumped out, and started punching 53-year-old Alfredo, knocking him out. Police say he then started attacking Alfredo's 47-year-old wife when their son saw this and opened fire. They say one bullet ended up hitting his mom accidentally, but she's expected to make a full recovery. As for the alleged attacker, he was rushed to a hospital where he died. Alfredo says moments later he woke up.
I remember I see my son on the floor. The police already here.
Alfredo says the reason his son was so quick to take action was because of what happened to him 4 years ago when he was robbed and shot in the face. Alfredo now lives with metal plates in his face. He says since then his son's vowed to protect him.
He tell me, Dad, it never happened to you no more. I take care of you.
Investigators say a surveillance video recording matches the family's story. They believe this is a case of self-defense. They later let Alfredo's son go. We watched as father and son left together. In Southeast Houston,
Jersey are investigating a Sunday morning shooting that left 2 people hurt. Both people found inside a car on a busy road in Linden. CBS 2's Corey James has more from the scene.
Police say that car with those 2 shooting victims inside of it was actually stopped in the northbound lanes of Route 1 near Avenue C. Here's video giving you a closer look at that investigation. According to Linden police, the call came in just before 10 a.m. and we're told Linden firefighters who were sent to the scene treated the 2 victims who were later taken to Newark University Hospital with serious injuries. Some people in the area say shootings here are uncommon.
It's crazy what's going on out here in these streets, man. I wouldn't expect it to happen so close to home.
But it's just sad. I hope people stop hurting each other.
And Linden police say a suspect was arrested today in Elizabeth on Route 1. However, authorities are not commenting on who that person is and what their connection is to the shooting. Police are also not releasing specific details about the victims, including their current condition and where they were shot. In Linden, New Jersey.
Police are looking for the man they say has ripped off thousands of dollars from cell phone stores, and he apparently struck again yesterday. Here's CBS 2's Dave Carlin.
Investigators have a large and growing collection of videos and photos of a robbery suspect armed with a pair of knives. Police count 10 robberies, all at cell phone stores in the Bronx. And the grand total so far adds up to more than $15,000 stolen. The latest was 6:30 Saturday night on East Tremont Avenue.
He thinks he's smart, but there's cameras everywhere. I never would think somebody would do something like that.
This worker, who asked we not show her face, describes the traumatizing moments from the afternoon of August 21st at her store on East 187th Street. She says, like the other incidents, the man had a knife in each hand.
They were really close. When he held them to my stomach, I was like, okay, he's crazy. It's broad daylight. Do whatever he says.
With his hand, the blade was like this big.
A similar account from this worker, whose identity we are also protecting at his request. His store on White Plains Road was robbed September 18th at 6 p.m. In the surveillance video, you see the worker backing up into a corner.
Yeah, I was shaking. My legs were shaking.
In all but one of the 10 incidents, police say workers handed over cash and sometimes phones. But one worker at a store on Westchester Avenue on August 14th initially refused. And he was slashed on the arm. He's back on the job, but at a different store. After the worker was injured in this store, his co-workers say a new staffing policy went into place.
Because of that incident that happened. Before, it was working alone, that guy. So now, usually we work two here.
Investigators and neighbors say they are glad the many suspect images include several with his mask off his face, hoping it increases the odds of getting him off the streets. In the Soundview section of the Bronx.
Right now, a father speaks about a horrifying ordeal that was caught on camera. He was shot while protecting his kids from gunfire in the Bronx. As we welcome you back here at 5:30, I'm Maurice Dubois.
And I'm Christine Johnson. The father was with his 3 sons at a car dealership when the shooting happened. Now, he was hit. The children were not hurt.
Now, police are looking for the 3 gunmen who stole a car to get away. CBS 2's Andrea Grimes has the story.
Like a scene from the Wild West, watch as a gunman opens fire, shattering a glass door. Mere inches away, Anthony Jefferson jumped on top of his 3 children, throwing his body over theirs, shielding them from bullets.
I just went into fatherly mode at that moment, and I just wanted to keep the kids safe.
Jefferson spoke with Inside Edition about the terrifying ordeal at On the Road Automotive Group on Boston Road in the Eastchester section of the Bronx. He was there last Monday night around 7:30 with his 3 sons, picking out a car for his wife's birthday, according to a GoFundMe page for him, when the bullets started flying. Investigators say Jefferson was an innocent bystander. He was hit in the thigh and foot. His children were not physically hurt. Jefferson's wife was overcome with emotion.
I have to constantly deal with my 2-year-old crying in his sleep, saying the guy shot my daddy, he shot my daddy. The guys, the bad guys, they hurt my daddy.
Police believe the shooting was gang-related and not related at all to the dealership. They say 3 men began shooting multiple rounds at another man who fired back. Police say one of the shooters stole a customer's car outside to get away. For the Jeffersons,
y'all my heroes too.
What?
Yeah.
They're just grateful they all survived.
We really blessed. So, I think the man upstairs, I thank everybody.
As Jefferson continues to recover, police say they continue searching for suspects. No arrests have been made yet in this case. In the Eastchester section of the Bronx, Andrea.
Inside a bodega leads to a stabbing. It happened a week ago at 10th Avenue and 51st Street in Hell's Kitchen. Police say 2 men got into an altercation, apparently over a scooter. Seconds later, one man pulled out a knife and stabbed the 42-year-old victim once in the back. The victim was taken to the hospital in stable condition. The suspect fled, and now police are hoping someone can help.
1 and new this morning, at least 1 person killed in a triple shooting in Coney Island. Police found the victims on 16th Street near Hart Place at around 2 this morning. The NYPD says a 25-year-old man was shot in the chest and died. 2 other men, ages 37 and 26, were also shot. They are at Coney Island Hospital in stable condition. So far, no arrests or details on what led up to that shooting. 1 and new this morning, at least 1 person killed in a triple shooting in Coney Island. Police found the victims on 16th Street near Hart Place at around 2 this morning. The NYPD says a 25-year-old man was shot in the chest and died. 2 other men, ages 37 and 26, were also shot. They are at Coney Island Hospital in stable condition. So far, no arrests or details on what led up to that shooting.
Bronx, Chopper 2 over the scene where another woman has been shot, apparently by a stray bullet. The 52-year-old told investigators that she was walking on 224th Street in the Williamsburg section when she felt pain in her leg and then realized it was a gunshot. The victim was taken to Jacoby Medical Center. No word yet on any suspects. We will update you as soon as we get new developments.
It has been a year since she disappeared from a park.
And today we received an update from the FBI and also the county prosecutor. CBS 2's Alice Gaynor has more on this.
A community gathering recently at Bridgeton City Park marked the one-year anniversary of the disappearance of Dulce Maria Alvarez.
It's hard for us to know that Dulce's not here with us and that they can still find her.
The then 5-year-old was last seen at the park September 16, 2019, playing with her 3-year-old brother. Her mother remained in the car with an 8-year-old relative, scratching off lottery tickets.
The situation is not easy for my family.
Are you any closer to finding Dulce today than you were a year ago?
The evidence that we've garnered has brought us closer to doing that. This investigation has taken us across the country in terms of, information and possible sightings.
The Cumberland County prosecutor says hundreds, if not thousands, of tips have poured in, and they've looked into and ruled out many vehicles seen in the area that day.
Do you think you could have an arrest or some answers within months, within a year?
If you eliminate 100 things and you have 150, then you have 50 left to go. It's just a matter of how long it takes you to get there.
Officials say they have no evidence to suggest she was killed and are holding out hope the now 6-year-old is still out there.
Members of the community have the answer to this question as far as who is responsible.
They're urging people to continue to come forward with anything they may have seen or know, and want those who are undocumented to know they can provide information and will not be asked about their status.
That is not a question they can ask. It does not concern us. This is someone's child. This is someone's grandchild.
What concerns them is getting Dulce Maria Alvarez back to her family. Alice Gaynor, CBS 2 News.
And a reward for information leading to Dulce's whereabouts is now at $75,000. For more information on how to contact authorities and provide tips,
have a picture of the suspect who they say is behind a chilling crime in the Bronx. They say this man, 30-year-old Marlon Alvarez, broke a window to get into a 15-year-old's bedroom and then attempted to rape her as she slept. The teen screamed for her mother, who police say chased Alvarez from the apartment. This was back on May 30th near Vice Avenue and Freeman Street in Morrisania. The victim...
Police have made an arrest in Wednesday's stray bullet shooting that killed a mother of 3 in her Jackson Heights apartment. 31-year-old Issam Elabar was arrested this morning. Police say he fired the shot that killed 43-year-old Bertha Arriaga, who was inside her bedroom. Sources tell us Elabar has 4 prior arrests and was not targeting the victim. It's not clear why the shot.
This morning for the suspect in a deadly stabbing on a Manhattan subway platform. CBS 2's Christina Fan joins us live from Lower Manhattan with new video of the man police are looking for. Christina?
Good morning, Cindy. That 22-year-old victim was slashed multiple times in the middle of the day here at the Chambers Street subway station. This morning, police have released new surveillance video of that suspect they say got into a heated argument with the victim just before the attack.
Police say this man, seen running along the subway platform, is responsible for stabbing a fellow passenger to death. The attack unfolded just before 3 p.m. Saturday on the southbound J and Z platform in the Chambers Street station near City Hall.
This is the world we live in. It's getting crazier and stressful day by day.
Investigators say the victim was in his 20s. He started squabbling with the suspect and was repeatedly slashed in both of his legs. First responders rushed him to the hospital, but he could not be saved. The homicide shut down train operations for at least 8 hours. Riders say what happened is both heartbreaking and frightening.
We got a 20-year-old, 14-year-old, 12-year-old, okay? And I worry about that. You understand? Because of my grandkids.
Police say the suspect they're searching for is a man with a light complexion, approximately 30 years old, 5'5" and 150 pounds with long black hair. He was last seen wearing a brown hooded sweatshirt and blue jeans.
And officers have put up several posters in this area asking for more information that could lead to a possible arrest. They're also offering a reward of up to $2,500. Reporting live from Lower Manhattan, Christina Fan.
Brooklyn lawmakers are renewing a push to get illegal guns off the street. It comes as the NYPD increases arrests and seizures. CBS 2's Andrea Klein-Thomas has more on how some hope tougher laws can serve as a deterrent.
A quarter of all shootings in New York City happen in 5 precincts in Brooklyn.
We've also seen more investigations into those areas by moving more detectives in that areas. What we've also done is we've moved more technology into those areas.
The result, gun arrests are now inching closer to pre-pandemic levels after the clearance rate plunged during the summer. Many are repeat offenders associated with gangs in a cycle of retaliation, using illegal guns that are easy to buy on the street.
The penalties for selling drugs are more significant currently than the penalty for selling these firearms. That makes no sense. We have to change the law.
The Brooklyn District Attorney joined lawmakers to urge the passage of 2 state bills aimed at targeting gun traffickers. One would triple the minimum jail time, and the other would require tracing where the guns originated.
Officials say nearly 70% of the guns used in these crimes come from 3 or 4 states, mainly in the South. It's known as the Iron Pipeline.
Victims like Michael Scully's family are supporting the legislation, although it doesn't provide much solace. Scully was killed while walking his dog in the usually quiet Bay Ridge neighborhood.
It's no consolation to a family who has a member stolen from them forever.
With the illegal flow of guns, no one is safe. A renewed effort from law enforcement and lawmakers to get to the root of the problem. In Brooklyn, Andrea Klein-Thomas.
Of gun violence in New York City, the NYPD says a 26-year-old man was shot in the leg today in Queens. Chopper 2 was over the scene on Farmers Boulevard in Springfield Gardens. Police say the victim was targeted, and the suspect is a man who rode off on a bicycle. So far this year, there have been 1,172 shooting incidents in all 5 boroughs. Give you an idea, this time last year, the NYPD reported 618 shootings. A group of suspects caught on camera attacking 2 men inside a Bronx bodega with machetes. Bodega owners across the 5 boroughs say they need the city's help to protect themselves from this rise in violence. CBS 2's Hazel Sanchez has this story.
Daylight didn't stop the brazen attack that rolled into Colorado Deli in the Morrisania section of the Bronx around 5 o'clock Sunday afternoon. 2 men ran into the bodega for safety, both feuding sides armed with machetes and swinging. Friends of the store owner who witnessed the attack say he left town with his family Monday night.
He's scared that some of those people that was on the fight, they can do something, they can harm him.
The man seen here in a red shirt was slashed on the forehead before his attackers ran off and police arrived. For other bodega owners, the violence is stirring up flashbacks of the 2018 attack on Junior Guzman Feliz, stabbed to death after he ran into a Bronx bodega for safety.
I'm scared. Every day I'm scared. I'm fearful because it's like every day is a new situation.
United Bodegas of America praised police for quickly responding Sunday, but say the owners of these essential businesses are helpless to defend themselves and need the city to step up.
We need to refund our police department. We pay enough money in taxes to get public safety, and we are not getting it.
Last year, the NYPD introduced the Safe Haven Bodega program, a high-tech security system, including a panic switch that directly notifies security or police of a problem. The system costing bodega owners $4,000.
There are more than 12,000 bodegas across the 5 boroughs. United Bodegas of America says only about a dozen of them were able to afford to become Safe Haven bodegas.
We're small. We're selling chips. We're selling cakes. We're not making hundreds of dollars of profit on the item. We're making cents. It's an investment that is, as much as we need it, we don't have the funds to do it.
Bodega owners say they met with NYPD top brass to request increased patrols while they wait for the city to respond to their concerns. In the Morrisania section of the Bronx, Hazel Sanchez, CBS 2 News.